Okay, so we're on patch 14.2 still here in the LEC. Twisted Fate's a little bit of an interesting one to be banning out. But, you know, Merwin has flexibility. We've seen a top lane over on G2 as well. 3 ADC bans here. Supa probably going to, I mean, he's going to first pick the Senna. Filio's still up.
That pick. Fnatic is shifting up their time for Noah to figure out what he wants to bring down into the bot lane.
Could play Lucian here too. Okay, we're going to take Karma. Pretty big power picks that are left up early. It's probably Frescovi who's going to be in the mid lane with the Karma. Don't think we're going to see center Karma as a lane, and I don't think we're going to see Karma on top side. Okay, Hui ban, so this implies that there might be an Azir pick, but I guess not. We're going to take Jinx, all right? Don't see a lot of Jinx. But you do get a kind of a free scaling lane against Senna. Going to take Braum as the Nautilus counter, okay. And we'll be in a Kali top for Merwin into... Yeah, no, it's definitely a Kali top because that's been Merwin's pick. And just Orianna. Orianna falls all the way through the bottom of the draft.
So he's going to be locking that in for a little bit more teamfight presence, and unsurprisingly, the Karma is going to be mid lane for Mad Lions. When we look at the scaling elements, Senna and Karma in isolation have incredible scaling. Great poke, great range. You're very reliant on Elyoya to be your engagement.
Yeah, Danny and I agree. Riot would not have hired Caedrel if they knew this was going to be the result. This is the nightmare scenario for Riot. You know, they don't want Taric, the equivalent of Taric in League of Legends. Because he takes up Taric like gets more viewership for VCT than VCT Americas. Like, it's one thing if Dom or Caedrel have higher viewership, you know, for like LPL, for example, because the English broadcast was never that big. But they don't want Caedrel to like be bigger than the LCS broadcast. That's the real nightmare, or the LEC broadcast, where English is the primary language stream. It's you're a hostage at that point in time to the co-streamer. I mean, Riot tried their damnedest to hold Caedrel down. You know what I mean? Like, they literally refused to give him LCS co-streaming rights last year. They tried so hard to muzzle Caedrel. They tried to get him to, you know, work their broadcasts instead of streaming internationals, but he managed to break free. You think Adam booted or he's coming back? I guess that would depend probably on Adam's attitude. His attitude, if you will. I think it entirely depends on whether this is a wake-up call for him.
I think Razork, especially recently, has been performing incredibly well. And Elyoya, with this new look Mad Lions Koi lineup, has really been showing his caliber as a leader in the team.
Sure, and bot lane is what we need to look at very early on. We heard Gobo talking a little bit about it on the desk. Both of these junglers love to try and enable their bot lane in the early game. We've been seeing it pretty consistently throughout playoffs, where they do that.
Ebuy was like 180k viewers during Mad versus BDS. Yeah. Nightmare, thanks for a Twitch Prime sub. But Ebuy, the difference with Ebuy is that Ebuy is bringing, he's in an alternate language, and he's bringing fans that wouldn't otherwise exist. Caedrel, most of Caedrel's fans, I think, would probably be watching the main broadcast. You know, certainly Caedrel brings a bunch of people who wouldn't watch the main broadcast, right? But I think a lot of the people would just be watching the English broadcast if Caedrel wasn't there. Matty, man, you're in the hospital? Get better, man. Thank you for your modding during your convalescence.
As I was saying, Razork, you'll run a little bit of ability haste in your runes as the brand because you can get your passive on camps with only 2 spells. If you use your Q first, your Seer, wait 4 seconds, use Pillar of Flame, your Seer will then be back up in time to use it again, and you'll get your passive down. So we'll see Razork here, we'll wait for that Q, comes back up, and there's the passive. It's a tiny little brand jungle tech. Every good brand jungle knows it, but it's one of those small things that if you mess up, you really feel the pain of it in the jungle.
And look at this pathing from Razok. We talked about how we expected this Raptor into bot side.
The Dr. Polo, thank you. Been watching since the OGN Season 2 days. Awesome.
Already looking for a skirmish, trying to leverage their range and power. No, it just doesn't quite have the same damage on the Jinx this early on.
By the way, guys, my power rankings have been released on YouTube, so you can get mad at me for ranking teams, because that's the only possible reaction that you could have, is getting mad about the order I put teams in, especially because I didn't put T1 as #1. So you can get extra butt mad about that. Kyriel, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Love yours and by the extension LFN content. What's your thought on KT? Fraud! Fraud team! We'll get to the dive in a second. Fucking fraud team, dude. Genji played so bad. Genji threw so hard into KT, it was unreal. That series was fucking terrible between Genji and KT. Pioshik had some hype plays, but it doesn't gloss over the fact that, like, Genji just completely threw by chasing kills instead of, like, taking Drake or Baron in game #1.
And he said, oh, you know what, my bot side is going to get invaded on Elyoya. They're going to use this as an opportunity to look for...
Elyoya's been so good, guys. I love watching this guy play this season. Third wave crash here from Mad Lion, straight into Noah. Beautifully played. What are you going to do? You're playing a level 2 Jinx. Beautifully done. Fractal Audio, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
A very clean dive from him. He does connect the W, and I didn't think that he was going to go for the E, but it was Alvaro who flashes underneath the tower to set up the play for his team.
Elyoya has been the tip of the spear, man. More appropriate now that he's playing Xin Zhao this game, but literally his entire team plays so well around his pathing and pressure, because he's just macroing. Like he's just the puppet master of this team, and it works really well because they're all rookies, so they fucking listen to him and they don't have their own stupid ideas. Mac and cheese, welcome back. Thank you for the Bezos bucks, my friend. I deserve all the Bezos bucks.
He has to be coming topside, and you know what? With my mid laner having just backed, I can't contest this Scuttle Crab, so it's fine. They'll give the Scuttle Crab over to, I believe, Noah's going to try.
Why is top esports so low? They're 4th. What do you mean by so low? Delac version 1. Thank you for the Bezos bucks. You'll give me the Bezos bucks? That's very nice of you. You guys are crazy. I deeply apologize for only putting top esports as the 4th best team in the world. Dude, they almost got bopped by Weibo. It took 369 with the hero rumble play not to lose game 2. Like, top esports is an extremely good team. I have to put them somewhere on the list, guys. What do you think they should be? I mean, top 5 is like world's contenders. What are you talking about? I can't handle you guys sometimes. Okay, flash in, root onto Elyoya. Elyoya backs off. Soup is there giving heals. Elyoya W, rooted, E's back in. Q knock up and dead. He's gonna die though. Yeah. Okay, a little bit aggressive. Little bit aggressive on the invade. Ooh, forces the flash too. Yeah. Yeah, Frescovi here actually just gets a super nice trade, and so he has priority to rotate over as well. This is a little bit aggressive, right? Because Humanoid is winning the trade in the mid lane, and that's the most important thing, guys, is that Frescovi's actually losing this trade, which means that there's a big problem with the invade, where they thought they had prio. Now they don't have prio, actually. The prio was a lie.
Unbreakable eats one more clockwork lineup, but in the end, Alvaro will fall 2 for 1 in exchange.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, while all of that has been happening, Oscarinin is getting bullied away from a massive...
I'm just mad T1 has placed second. Well, they shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, he did use the ultimate as well, leveraging that.
They shouldn't have lost to Gen G.
He's going to stare him down as he goes back to base to deny all that experience away from Oscar.
Hey, who's BLG lost to? Remind me.
It's not looking to make it any easier.
Oscar has been the key point of weakness, I think we can say, on Fnatic in these playoffs. Had a good regular season, but has definitely...
And BLG has had a tough strength of schedule.
Against Irrelevant, he was down, I think, an average of 1,000 gold at 14 minutes. Here we'll see this play again. Elioya looking for that Grump invade, but Razork is here to answer.
You got to remember that even with the brand having these level advantages, those cooldowns very long this early on into the game, but also Braum able to mitigate a lot of the damage. It's only really when Elioya goes to the re-engage that there's this opportunity.
Mad Lions reminds me of KT Bullets. You mean KT Arrows, the Cacao roster?
Humanoid has to commit the flash, but he thinks that that's a worthwhile trade as Fnatic now tie up the kills 2-2.
Getting Super's flash out as well means that he can't be as aggressive.
I mean, except they have got Frescovi instead of Rookie. I do agree in the fact that they had a jungler who was, you know, kind of the focal point of the team, though. Are you comparing Frescovi to Rookie? Dr. Polo, you're a doctor. You should know better. I didn't think that through. Truly, I too think of Frescovi as the Rookie of Europe. I have a fine arts degree. Doctor? Is the doctor a lie?
When your lane is pushing in, can you deny the enemy AD carry a wave? You can see Noah already 13 CS down against Super, and that's after crashing a wave in. Getting the summoners out of the enemy AD carry and then moving into...
He is a rookie, so technically it's accurate. Ooh, you guys got me there. Frescovi is a rookie, so he is like Rookie.
So we'll say 4 camps or so. He's going to get this blue as well, and there's not really much for Elioya to take off the map. None of his camps are up. So he's just going to be looking perhaps towards making a gank work, but he's still only level 5. On his way to 6, obviously, but about half a level away from it.
Now, it's important to remember when it's both Mad Lions and Fnatic, they love to skirmish. These are teams that are very trigger happy, I would say. I think part of the criticism levied towards Jun was that he was finding a lot of engage that was very difficult for the rest of
Aziri, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Remove my pleb status, Bezo, and give me semi-pleb status. You mean erudite elite status?
That's poised and they're ready to fight and they love to fight. And Mad Lions' core is very similar. And every time we see these two teams fight, you end up in very long games because they'll find skirmishes that can swing the game often, very back and forth. So my expectations are that we're in for another one today. The big difference, though, is that for Mad Lions core, you're very reliant on Elioya for that engage, right? He is this Xin Zhao. You don't have a huge amount of crowd control, and we talk about how, like, compositions like that...
Yeah, Mad Lions engage is actually fucking garbage.
Because when you do fall behind, the composition that has more CC just has more agency and gets to determine more about how things actually are played. So it's going to be interesting to see how Mad Lions navigate this so far. They find themselves relatively...
Actually, both teams have garbage. How does this keep happening, guys? I fucking hate this. How do we have 0 primary engage? Saved it. Saved it, guys. How do we have 0 primary engage on both teams? How do we end up with compositions like this? Right? There's no good ball delivery vehicle for Orianna. Cassante basically siphons somebody off of a fight. He doesn't provide primary engage. Like, I guess you have not ult, but that's it. This comp feels really bad. Like, this comp also, somehow this comp has even less engage. You have, like, Jin, who is incredibly ult-gated by his engage. If he doesn't have ult, he literally can't engage. So, like, you have Flash Braum ult, maybe? This means that whichever team has objective prio just, like, wins. Right? There's not really a way for the other team to kind of muscle in on it, because they also don't have good poke. Like, this composition is super janky from Mad Lions, in my opinion. By the way, I know Mad Lions wins this series 3-2. I do not know which team wins which game. So, I don't know if Mad Lions wins this game or not, but like this seems really difficult to actually play into the mid and late game unless you're first on objectives. And the poke coming in from Brand, Ori, and Jinx is going to rock them, even if they have Senna heal.
Razork now starting up the dragon with the bot prio. No engine able to push that in. Grubs did go over to MDK, and Alioya finally ticked over to that level 6 mark.
They are quite late though. Grubs, the second spawning of the Grubs, they might not have much of a window to actually secure them. Obviously a very late first dragon as well, as a result of...
But, you know, I was watching the Fear X versus Guangdong series, and game 3 of that series also had 2 comps without primary engage, and I just happen to think that primary engage is so important in the game of League of Legends, basically at all times, but particularly right now, this year. So it's been real weird. You know, it results in very long games, very weird game states, inability to close, inability to take objectives. In that Fear X versus Guangdong game, it took 28 minutes for one team to take the first Tier 1 mid turret. The first Tier 1 mid turret fell at 28 minutes. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Is Jarvan jungle any good? Yes, he's good. He's fine. He's certainly good into... Now, is the question, is Jarvan jungle good into Jinx, Ori, Brand? The answer is fuck yes. It's extremely good.
Flashes, the wind becomes lightning. Zap, dodged. Alioya flashes forward. 3 talent strike. What he's looking for. Depth charge down as well by Jun. He knows he's dead.
What are you talking about, Ellis's MTG metaphors? Which one? Does it have to do with primary engage? I like his MTG metaphors.
From Jun. Mistimes it slightly with Razork, so while he's able to go back, Jun is left isolated. He loses his flash. Alioya commits his as well, but it does result in MDK ultimately getting a kill after Fnatic tried to dive on the bot side of the map.
And you see this so often, that back time is just slightly misaligned between jungle and support. The support's like, well, I'm fine because the jungler's backing at the same time as me.
Ranks champs into colors based on the role they play in a team. Yeah, you need...
Out of there, and then
you need engage, guys.
A slightly different way, a more painful way.
Faster way to go back to base, am I right? Obviously not ideal for Fnatic's bot lane, but the kills are dead even, 3-3. The gold pretty much the same. You can see advantages in mid and jungle for Fnatic, but top and AD carry.
My favorite best of series of all time.
Dragon spawning in about 3 minutes.
Well, that's easy.
Just both supports roaming around the map, trying to work with their team to get deep.
Champions Summer 2013 finals.
Alioya has partnered up with Alvaro, or is rather hovering around this mid side. They're looking for another invade. They're looking at that Gromp. They're going to see if they can find a skirmish, but level advantage. League's finished for Razork. This is a scary brand to fight right now.
Razork has been able to dodge away from some of this vision as Alioya and Alvaro spot him out. Glacial Prism down, the Unbreakable used as well as Razork flashes. Dawning Shadow, not going to do too much work because Razork was able to get away from it in time. In the end, Summoner's burnt. Ghost on Noah. Razork
Oh, yeah, block. I mean, Frescovi's getting fucking clapped here in the mid lane by Humanoid.
Importantly, though, Humanoid burnt his flash for that, so MDK will have an advantage.
He flash ulted.
In terms of Summoners.
Very true. And Razork losing his flash, as you already highlighted. We'll tick over to level 9 now, so a very third 1.5 level lead over his jungle opposition. But you saw some of the strength there. The moment that Razork flashed away, that brand value was, the brand ultimate value rather, was very low because you have Braum Unbreakable and you have Xinjiao ult. So at first, if that was any other jungle support combo, Brand would have fried them, right? Just absolutely melted them. But due to all that damage reduction and mitigation that's available, they're able to weather that storm. So we enter the mid game again at a dead even state, and that's what we love to see in the playoffs. You want these competitive games, fighting for that top 3 spot in the winter splits. And huge credit to Mad Lions. Core expectations were very...
Do I still think Smeb is the GOAT of top lane? Yeah, I think Deft might be the GOAT of AD carries now, though, especially the One Worlds.
Leveling up a lot for playoffs, and Mad Lions Koi are very clearly usurping those expectations.
Yeah, they really are. Definitely outwitting the analysts with how well they've played. Leandri's now finished on Merwin as well. He did burn TP to get up to the top lane when Oscarinin has held his teleport. We'll see if he uses it here to get back to the wave. Yeah, he's going to. So we won't see either of the top laners at a dragon fight if one does begin in a minute's time. Humanoid no flash, remember, puts the shockwave down. Alvaro tanks the tower, and Humanoid tanks it. Yeah,
well, gets punished for not having his flash because he used it aggressively in the trade, so it's a good read, but Humanoid just...
Flash, remember, puts the shockwave down. Alvaro tanks the tower, and
Nice read. Elyoya's, man, Elyoya's pathing has been so good for the most part, guys. Elyoya really is fucking good.
That's exactly what happens.
Really nice dive. Well executed. Alvaro again, the one that takes that initial tower aggro, can tank up so much, largely because of the Guardian. The Unbreakable helping with the additional resistances of your W, and then Elyoya and Friscari just providing the damage to get that kill.
I'm surprised nobody's posted my my power rankings on Reddit yet for them to be downvoted into oblivion.
Jun yet to complete his support item, whereas Alvaro has his. That Solstice Slay definitely going to help in a fight that may begin.
Top 3 junglers for EU this split. Well, Yike certainly up there.
Around this blue side.
I think Elyoya might be number 1, honestly.
Their vision is being invested, and their sweepers are being invested in clearing out close to their base, which means MDK know they have a little bit of extra breathing room as Jun and Razork push in. Now,
Razork's been pretty good too. That's probably top 3.
Frescawi on his way across.
Humanoid is a little disconnected from his team, though. He does have the TP. Hook connects. I don't know if this is a good hook.
Thymoclasm goes down, eaten by Alvaro. Jun tries to get away. Glacial Fissure will lock him up. Concussive blows reapplied. Still need a couple of stacks for it. Humanoid is trying to keep the dragon aggro. Does have the shockwave.
Crucially, just look at the health differences. Mad Lion's core at about 50%, but largely full health from the side of Fnatic. No one needs to regroup with his team.
Nice shockwave. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is what I'm talking about, guys. They have no engage. I mean, look at this. They have no engage. Like, their engage is Elyoya ulting, basically. But he gets caught out by the shockwave because before he can ult. And he just dies before he can ult. You're trying to play into Brand, Orianna, and Nautilus and Jinx. Like, that's so hard. I think this comp is just fucking garbage from Mad Lions, if I'm being honest.
They rely on Elyoya just running straight towards Fnatic, and they were like, I'm an Orianna, I'm a Brand, be my guest.
I think this comp is just hot garbage from Mad Lions. I think he got mega baited by Karma here. Karma, let me talk about, like, Karma does well if you have, like, a Gwen in top lane, you know, or a Lucian, right? Because you want champions that are going to either dive deep into the enemy composition by running. So not Akali is going to be flanking, obviously. So you get value out of the speed boost, right? And the Lucian is on the front line, and you can speed boost him so he puts down the damage to their front line without getting caught. But I think in a lot of compositions, Karma is just kind of shit. You need primary engage or dive, and you don't have dive. How would you round up a comp with Karma mid and Jhin jungle? Well, I mean, I'm not in love with the Jhin jungle. You need a top laner or support that offers primary engage. I would rather see Sejuani, Karma, Lucian, right?
And again, it just represents some of the weaknesses of Mad Lions comp, where their engage options aren't that easy to execute. And when Fnatic are first to the objective, especially when they have a health advantage.
So, like, they're already at 2 Drakes, too. How do you ever fight Drake at this point in time?
Sometimes all it takes is that little bit of distraction for your enemies.
Yeah, Jax is good. Kennen is good. I agree, Fatox. Do I think Karma's overrated? Yeah, I've been saying Karma is kind of a bait pick. It is situationally good, and it's very helpful sometimes on red side draft, but as a flex pick, but you don't get it on red side draft because it's banned or it's first picked on blue side a lot of the time. But I do think it's kind of a bait pick, guys, if I'm being honest.
When this Fnatic comp starts to get a lead, they get to determine when the fights happen. It's super easy for them to just start a fight thanks to this Nautilus. And the follow-up from the Brand is always clean. So much damage coming out from Razork now. He's been involved in 5 of the team's 6 kills. 5-0-0.
You also have no tankiness on Mad, so now that Brand is 2 items, like, how do you live? And especially now that he has Rylai's, too, you either get poked by the Leandries, and if you try to engage, you get slowed by Rylai's. This game is over. This game is over, guys. Like, Fnatic should not have, or I mean, Mad Lions should not have a fucking chance in this game.
That's going to be a challenge with the amount of wave clear that Fnatic have at their disposal.
Definitely is. Super also a little bit challenged in getting stacks in this game. I think he's sitting at about 48 right now, 46 in fact. Having a closer look at our overlay, you can see it on the center portrait, that little number above the level that he's at right now. But usually you want to be, 60, 80, 100 by now, really. If you're
Well, the Brahm's a good pick in lane, but it doesn't offer primary engage. Braum is kiting or secondary engage. Like, if somebody's CC'd, hitting them with a Braum ult or a Braum Q feels really good. But you like, flash Braum engage? I mean, literally the engage that Madline has is Elyoya with Xin Zhao with ult or flash Braum engage. Gallior, welcome back. Thank you very much. So if you have flash down or you have Xin Zhao ult down, you just have no engage. I just hate these kind of comps, dude. I fucking hate them. I think they're so bad. Maybe this is my bias, guys, but I feel like both... I don't like either of these team comps, but the thing is, at least Fnatic has objective priority and a range advantage. So they can poke better, and they can punish Mad Lions walking into an objective. But neither team has a good source of primary engage.
It's off cooldown. Why not throw it out? But he was fine. Yeah, he was well within his means. He was able to. He wasn't in any danger there, and they keep their tower alive while that top tower is secured. Now the dragon is spawning, and what did Fnatic do? They used that window to get a reset in. Second item now finished for Humanoid. Second item now finished for Razork. Fnatic should feel incredibly powerful at this point in the game, and it's up to Mad Lions Squad to try and find a way into this dragon pit to see if they can find a contest. But I think it's going to be.
Why does it not count as primary engage? He does, kind of.
Mad's positioning is not ideal to really contest this neutral objective.
I mean, his ult can, his hook can. But it's not as good as, some other forms of engage, right? He's okay. He's okay. But you can't always get an ideal target for his ult. There you go. Speaking of primary engage. I mean, that's a perfectly oh, what? I mean, you can see the poke coming down. Like, they're super good at abusing this situation. Shockwave brings him back in, and he's killed, right? The damage comes through before Merwin can even TP, so now it's just free Drake. Oh my god, Jun just hitting the fucking hooks. Let's go. There's nothing that Mad Lions can do with this composition. This composition is so fucking troll. Watching this play out, actually. Everybody just slowed until the end of time. Fnatic shouldn't have gone in on this, by the way. They should just take Drake. Like, just walk away. Walk away right. Here is where you walk away, guys. You walk away and do Drake. Jhin still has ult. Jhin still has ult. You do not follow the Jhin who still has ult. Just fucking go to Drake. Holy shit. They used everything to kill Braum. They used Shockwave. They used Brandle. Just to kill Braum. They used Nautilus ult onto the Xin Zhao, but you have to walk away. Your Brand ult and your Ori ult are most of your damage. They actually trolled this so huge, guys. They literally did the one thing that was going to lose them this Drake, and now they stopped Drake. Ugh, yeah. Oh, God. Do they get it anyway? Okay, thank God. So bad, though. Okay, fine. Okay, and it's fine. Like, you can look for the follow-up here. You can try and bait something out because Jun is still really strong, but you cannot go all in onto the Xin Zhao while Humanoid is just getting, wasted in the back line by this Akali. Just walk away, just walk away, just walk away, just walk away. He has ult! 0 damage to him. Zero. Nobody's even inside of it. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 damage. So bad.
They do kill Elyoya, but then the re-engage and the range coming out from Super and Frescowy allows MDK to get another fight.
They can't Drake. Mad was going to fight it anyway. Of course they can Drake. What are you talking about? Mad doesn't have engage. Braum is dead. They have Elyoya with ult. That's it. Look, if they do Drake right now, they have Cassante ult. Don't listen to this. This is wrong. They have Cassante ult. They can actually just go in. There's the Cassante ult, but he ults and dies. They would have Cassante ult to remove Elyoya from pit. Tell me how they would kill them. They can't.
Basically just buys a lot of time compared to what Oscarinin can do to allow
They absolutely can just turn 5v4 onto Drake.
Super getting over 60 stacks, 2 items on him, opportunity and Yumu's Ghost Blade complete. So starting to scale up on this center, still a little bit further back than he would like to be stack-wise, but as an AD carry, when you're farming center, it's a little bit harder just to follow your jungle around the jungle and pick up those extra absolution stacks. So see how much more.
The LEC regression is primarily due to allowing talent to stagnate. No, it's bad GMing.
A battle of the junglers and a battle of the AD carries. That's really what's come to
like
fruition here. Humanoid's had a couple of really good
Trimby should not be a player on the bench. You know what I mean?
A lot of their eggs in the super basket. How much work can he do in these next fights?
Like, Mad Lions fans will say, "Oh, it was a super good idea to create this new Mad Lions roster because they made finals, but they did it while Adam was like getting benched for being a useless rager."
Over a wolf, and Alvaro will pay for it with his life. A little bit greedy there from MDK.
And Mad Lions does look good, like legit. I think Mad Lions is a pretty good team, but they shouldn't be in the European finals. You know, Carmine Corp was having bizarre loyalty to a kind of mediocre roster. Like, Seiken should be kicked from that team. Targama should be kicked from that team. The only reason they're not is because they have loyalty. That's not what sports are about, guys. It's about performance. So we have nationalism creating weird loyalty, both in Mad Lions and in Carmine Corp. And then we have bad jamming.
2,900, Dawning Shadow out. Razork forced out of the back of the pit. He's looking for a little bit more damage. His Moen's already killed off Humanoid, but Oscarinin gets him. The smite comes out, and it's
Also, frankly, bad player decisions. Like, why is Larson signing multi-year deals with Rogue when he could be on a better team? Imagine if Larson was on Mad Lions, man. Or he was on Carmine Corp.
Even though they're a man down. Great target priority and a bit of chaos coming out from Fnatic. Look at this. Jun throws out the hook, doesn't connect it onto Elyoya. Oscarinin is zoning on the left, or the Karma and the Super are just poking away at them from the back. Their range is what they're taking advantage of right now, and they play it very well. Huge credit to Merwin taking out Humanoid. So much of the damage disappears. And then because Fnatic is in
Also,
away at them from the back,
very good steal. Stealing very cool. So right here, just outrageous. I cannot believe Mad Lions is going to win this game, guys. I cannot believe it. Of course, they just get this at 1240. It's literally sitting at 1240 for like 50 frames. Look how long this is at 1200, guys.
Well, huge credit to Merwin taking out Humanoid. So much of the damage disappears. And then because Fnatic is indecisive about turning or finishing the Baron, is what
this might Oscarinin keeping Merwin at bay as the Baron goes down to 2,900. Dawning Shadow out. Razork.
I mean, again, they don't have critical ults, Fnatic, right? Because they kill the Braum again. So they think they kill him with Braum burn or brand burn, and they turn. But they're not committed to actually going after the turn here. Jun has ult, misses hook. Why is Oscarinin is marking Merwin on the flank, but that just allows Elyoya to simply walk into the pit and smite. I can't believe Mad Lions gets Baron in a fucking 4v5 here. Like, in my opinion, Jun should be marking Akali, and Oscarinin should be marking Elyoya. That's my take, guys. Like, Elyoya can be ulted over a wall and removed by the Cassante, and his ult isn't going to do much to Cassante. Meanwhile, Jun should be able to deal with the Akali by himself. Not gets one shot? I don't think so. Where are his items? He has Locket. It's off cooldown. Like, I would assume that he can at least get an auto ult off before he dies. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does get one shot. He's 5 levels down, so maybe. He doesn't have a lot of MR. Maybe that's true. But regardless, I think you have to have the Cassante onto Elyoya.
And somehow it's all come up MDK.
MDK just find these ways of winning fights even though they're a man down. Great target priority and a bit of chaos coming out from Fnatic. Look at this, Jun throws out the hook, doesn't connect it onto Elyoya. Oscarinin is zoning on the left, while the Karma and the Super are just poking away at them from the back.
It's a nice Senna ult. This is the Baron Pit that's like the line, so it allows you to get good value out of Senna.
They play it very well. Huge credit to Merwin taking out Humanoid. So much of the damage disappeared. And the Super are just poking away at them from the back. Their range is what they're taking advantage of right now, and they play it very well. Huge credit to Merwin taking out Humanoid. So much of the damage disappeared.
Yeah, I think you can probably at least Nautilus R Akali before she dies, and then somebody else can follow up before Nautilus dies, rather.
They secure the Baron, they secure the kills, and they walk away the victors of that fight.
So many moving parts in that fight. Merwin jumping over Oscar, then being pulled closer to Humanoid with the all-out. Oscar thought maybe he was bringing the Akali further away from his backline, but was an unwitting...
I still think Mad Lion's comp is mega trash, guys.
Now MDK with the Baron for 2 minutes, already have 2,000 gold off it. How much more can they get? There's a lot of standing gold on the map for them. This top tier 1 being the first part of that. Friscari will stand here, buff up the minion wave, and we're able to take it. Alvaro here looking for Jun. Glacial Fish is going to land. The stun as well from the concussive blows. TP in by...
I don't know, guys. Jun is living a long time in basically a 1v3 here. He's taking all of the damage from everybody. I think he could live through that Akali. Oh!
Looking for a flank position, but he's locked out with the shockwave. Merwin down to half HP. Oscar looking for him, trying to get in there. Noah dashed on by Merwin, and Noah takes him out. The Akali unable to do much in a 4v1.
So this is both the brilliance and the failure of MDK. They are a team that
huge aftershock value there, yeah, for sure.
In these fights, they find great ways to win fights from disadvantaged positions, but they also just love to skirmish. They overstep, they go into Fnatic's jungle, and they force this fight kind of meaninglessly. They didn't need to. They're setting up for a play to start sieging onto the mid and the top tower. We know that they have the range to chip away at their opponent's health bars and potentially even set up to secure this next dragon, but instead they get overzealous and they hand 2 kills over to Fnatic.
That's the big thing, Betty. You have a minute left on the Baron buff, which has now fallen off most of your team. Only Elyoya and Super have it still, I think. And you have a minute left before the Soul comes up. So it feels very much like MDK, as you say, should...
Razork almost has death cap too. The giant chunks are going to be huge.
Fnatic from having an easy route in towards the dragon. That's what Alvaro and Elyoya are going to do now. Friscari is pushing in that bot wave. Fnatic investing most of their resources and making sure they have mid-prio. The next wave still a little bit of time away. 20 seconds on the Infernal. Do or die, you have to feel for MDK. If Fnatic secure this, an Infernal Soul could just be the death knell. Noah looking for Scryer's boom. Gets a bit of...
At least Mad to have priority because it's the only chance in hell they have of winning this fight.
It's good from Fnatic. They're going to see it coming. That bot wave is a bit of a...
Still no death cap onto Razork or Humanoid. Okay, it's all right. That's one that you make that flash trade because now Romult is down. Razork not close enough to smite. Nice job from Oscarinin. Yep. Okay.
MDK lose one, get the Drake. Razork trying to keep Merwin at bay. The perfect execution in though, and Razork should just be deleted here by Merwin, and he gets two in the middle of it. Merwin,
Oh my god.
wanted out of this fight. Oscar in now chased away. Jun low, Noah trying to open up. Razork able to dodge away for a long time.
Just kidding, guys. Ulting the Karma with Cassante was not worth, because Razork's just alone by himself. And Merwin goes in and just cues everybody. I can't believe that Merwin is just getting free flanks like this.
MDK even are overly surprised by how they won this fight. Noah flashes away, but there's no escape today from the Mad Lions.
Another incredible fight from Mad Lions Koi. These two teams always...
Speaking of some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill, that's Mad Lions with this composition, dude. But Fnatic just can't mark the Akali.
In that bot lane tri-bush, MDK would just sacrifice him, but Merwin finds so much.
Getting the flash from Razork was huge because it forces him away from the fight and he becomes very skeptical.
But this is, like I said, guys, when you don't have a form of primary engage, this is what happens around objectives. Whoever is on it first and who can kite better has the opportunity. Jun uses hook here, so now they don't have engage.
It forces him away from the fight and he becomes very skeptical about trying to contest. Now Fnatic realize that
And you don't have engage on the chase either.
Advantage so they can convert this into a winning position. But the presence of Merwin is strong. Fnatic can't quite close down onto anyone from MDK. They're leveraging their range as much as they can.
In this scenario, Jun has to stay with Razork. Somebody has to get the CC down.
Chipping away at the HP bars, and then presence of Merwin.
Jun now spotting Merwin looks.
When was Jun's ult used?
It's still on the wrong side of the red here, really. Alvaro able to dodge away for a long time. Eventually, he will fall to Oscar. MDK lose one.
Jun has ult this entire time.
The perfect execution in though, and Razork should just be deleted here by Merwin, and he gets two in the middle of it.
Jun dies with ult up.
Get the Drake. Razork trying to keep Merwin at bay. The perfect execution in though, and Razork should just be deleted here by Merwin, and he gets two.
Get me out, dude. Get me out. This game is so bad.
MDK would just sacrifice him, but Merwin finds so much.
He used on Akali? No.
Should just be deleted here by Merwin, and he gets two in the middle of it. Merwin finds
Did he use it? Did he use it as Akali was dying? Oh, he does use it on Akali when Akali was already dead. Okay, well, I mean, he could have used it on Akali to peel for Razork. As Akali was dying, he used his ult. Oh my god.
Getting the flash from Razork was huge because it forces him away from the
I love no primary engage compositions.
Now Fnatic realize that Merwin is too far away. They have numbers advantage, so they can convert this into a winning position. But the presence of Merwin is strong. Fnatic can't quite close down onto anyone from MDK. They're leveraging their range as much as they can, chipping away at the HP.
Razork needs to clear pink ward, guys. It's very important that he clears pink ward instead of staying with his team. Why can't he stay with his team? He doesn't have flash. He knows he doesn't have flash. He used it to flash Braum ult.
You can see how much he's thinking through these fights. And MDK winning out. They get the Drake as well, all important.
Because, you know, we talked about how Fnatic have this composition that gives them a little bit more agency when it comes to starting these fights. But if Mad Lions play patiently enough, their range becomes very kind of clean up once the chip damage is done. It just shows you how powerful this composition can be, how the later this game goes, how much stronger Infinity Edge done for Super, something you don't often see on the
Not Cassante is fine engage. I disagree with that. Cassante is not a form of primary engage.
In that last fight, he's really beginning to open up on this center. Razork takes a chunk.
He isolates targets after a fight has started. He is not a form of primary engage.
Always in the back of Fnatic's mind that Akali might be chasing them down. Like Gala, they're probably having flashbacks every fight, thinking about where could Merwin be, and what a split he's had, stepping up onto the big stage, not afraid of picking some of his pocket picks, not afraid of bringing out some of the uniqueness that made him so good. And when he was on the Bisons in the LPL, not LPL, LVP. Now MDK going to set up around the Baron. Fnatic trying to get that mid prior. Something they've done so often. This game
Is Lee Sin primary engage? He can be, but it's hard. It's like it's all obviously gated around kick and flank, so it's harder. It's harder to execute. It's not reliable, you know. It's not consistent. Super has to.
He will. They see the Baron now down to 6,500. Elioya not even autoing it right now, just keeping a bit of that health up. 5,000 on it. Merwin still looking for the flank. Junk looks for the hook as Super able to get away from it. The Dawning Shadow, and already Noah's down. Merwin finds the assassination potential on the backline, and even with that,
Kali's too huge now. That 1,000 gold shutdown. That 1,000 gold shutdown for Akali was so big. And now that he has, I mean, he's got Void Staff and Zhonya's. The Zhonya's going to give him so much survivability.
They see the Baron now down to 6,500. Elioya not even autoing it right now, just keeping a bit of that health up.
Credit to Merwin, though. He does play these scenarios out well. He has good patience. Thank you, Tasty AMG. Coming back once again. Your tier 1 sub.
Keeping a bit of that health up. 5,000 on it. Merwin still looking for the flank. Junk looks for the hook as Super able to get away from it. The Dawning Shadow, and already Noah's down. Merwin finds the assassination potential on the backline, and even with Elioya locked out, Humanoid will pay for it.
I feel like we're going to learn all the wrong lessons from this game. But credit to Merwin. You know, he's got really good vision. He's got really good vision. And he's got really good patience. You know, he waits for, on this Akali, he really waits for the opportunity to manifest before going, and he never forces it. Nickus211, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. You just noticed the Zaddy tag? Yeah, understandable. You're too distracted by my attractiveness to notice the tags.
It's not really in MDK's lexicon to wait it out. They start up the Nexus Towers. There's one, the second shot to fall. Jun on his way out, but the Nexus Tower's already down. MDK open up on the Nexus, and it's looking like a bright day here for the Mad Lions 1-0 up.
An impressive game from Mad Lions Koi.
Merwin could have been a decent mid laner. He might be, hot take, he might be a better mid laner than Frescovi. He might be. Are we sure he's not?